Hello, everyone, and welcome to our today's conversation about the creative society, a very exciting topic for all of us. And I welcome our guest, Irina. And first, I will ask you, Irina, just to tell us a couple of words about yourself. Just introduce yourself, please.
Oh, hello. I'm Irina. I'm a stay-at-home mum. I live in the UK. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's more than enough. And first question that I'd like to ask you would be a general one about the creative society. The synonyms for those would be a harmonious society, an ideal, a perfect society. So just tell us in general a couple of words about how do you see a creative society? Maybe what will be the relationships between people there, the medical care, the education, any topics, any parts of life that come to your mind that should be improved, that should be changed, something that you see now that is not working out in the society, something you also feel unhappy with, and something that you would like to change, and how exactly you would like to change it.
Okay. I don't think I have major issues with the society, but there are things that I would like to change, maybe for people to help each other more, for people to look out for each other a bit more, and to support each other more, and know a bit more how things go ahead, and things that sometimes aren't passed on to everyone. I guess if you were a politician or depending on your job, then you might know more. If it's someone that is not as much interested in that, then you might not know everything that happens at a different level. So yes, I would say a bit more informative for everyone.
In this beautiful creative society, where, as you can imagine, you want to live and you want your loved ones to live. How can you can you describe us this perfect society where is with good education? Because nowadays, for what you said about we need more be informative and everything. I think everything starts from beginning, from when kids are small yet, and you need to educate them very well. And so, is any opinion on education you will give us, please?
It's very difficult to say how much comes from the school or how much comes from people and what they are willing to do. Where we live is more based on funds and how schools are governed and how schools are run. And most of the time that comes down to the staffing and comes down to how much money is in place. It's not very personal, that's for sure. Like, I don't think that the teachers get to know the children enough and the pupils enough. And also this is because my children go to a big school. But even if it was a smaller school, I don't think that teachers get to know them very well because of the class size. Exactly. Yes, so from that point of view, I think there should be more done, and it could be more personal.
And in this beautiful creative society, when we can all hope for one day we are there, how you imagine medicine there? Because it's very important nowadays as well, because every single day people need to go to doctors or something, and I'd like to hear your opinion on medicine, modern medicine today.
Again, it's very different comparing it to, because I was born in Romania and I know quite a bit about the way the health system works there. I do have something to compare it to, like from the UK. Very different, very, very different. While the public system here, it's still, I would say, although everyone moans about it and complains about how things are done, I would still say is very good compared to like in Romania, where it is public, but then you still have to pay for for your appointments maybe, or for what you have done. Not you have to, just because otherwise people seem to think they won't be looked after, or no one will take care of them or pay attention to them. So it's very different. I have had the experience of needing the system here for my son for a long time, I would say, for a major thing. And I would say it worked 100% for us, and I was very, very happy with how things were done.
What if in a global scale you can say as like, because we know medicine systems, as you described, in 2 countries different. It's so on a global scale, how do you see that in creative society, the medicine, just in general?
In an ideal society, maybe.
Yeah, an ideal society.
Yeah, definitely. It would be something where you could go anytime. You could call any time of the day and you'll have your questions answered, and everyone could be looked after. And anyone could access anything they needed at any point in their lives. But then I think everyone has different needs, very different needs, and very different depending on their age sometimes, or their health problems, or their the stage they are at.
In creative society, how do you see society in those times? Will be there any military conflicts or not? What were your imaginations?
Don't think there should be any conflicts, really. Don't think there should be any conflicts, that's for sure. Why people fight over, it's obviously over power, really. That's how it all starts. But how can people kill each other, and the atrocities like that you see on the news about things that happen is just beyond my understanding, really. How can people do something like that? Definitely no fighting, no wars. That should not be part of today's life. That should definitely not be part of how things are going ahead in today's world. We've come a long way, I think, as humans, as humankind, to be now reduced to killing each other. It's, like I said, beyond my understanding how we can go back to be doing this.
Yeah, unfortunately, many people say also that, again, probably not all of the people, but many people are forced to do, this, to go to war or to do other kinds of crimes just because, of the necessity, because they don't have enough money, because they don't have enough means for survival, because of their poor living conditions. And this brings me to another question about the creative society. We have an idea that in creative society, every person should have, everything necessary. It's sort of like it's already in the developed countries here that you have the social aid, but it's not really like that. In a creative society, our idea that every person should, be completely, I don't know, not wealthy, how to say it, that he or she should have everything he or she needs. So the house, the food, all the necessities, not just to survive, but, to live very well. And then, so like every person, if he or she is unable to work for some time or for longer periods of time, or if he doesn't, want to work, maybe he just wants to volunteer or whatever, he still can live as a human being, worthy of a human being. And then other people who want, more, maybe who want to earn more, or just who are motivated, have lots of energy, whatever, they can go and find work. And we think that a human being also should work less, 4 hours a week, 4 hours a day. 4 days a week is more than enough, so that we have enough free time for other things. And yeah, the question here for you, what do you think about this? Should this be in a creative society? Should everybody, regardless whether they're employed or not, have these basic necessities satisfied, so that people feel calm, relaxed about their lives, peaceful, and yeah, and can do whatever they want then with their life.
Okay. I think the standard of living have changed a lot, and the expectations are very high nowadays, whatever country you live in. So the pressure for people to work, I think, is higher than ever. Or if it's not higher for work, the pressure to work is maybe the pressure to earn more. And also, depending on where you live, the cost of living can be very high as well. Of course, people should enjoy life for what it is, not for what you have, and not for the means. But I think we're often caught in the trap of working a lot of hours, maybe, or making sure we're earning enough, and probably missing out on other things that are probably more important. But like I said, I think it's a consumer society here. Like, everyone is just in a race to tick all the boxes, have a house, afford a nice holiday, and then I guess it depends what else comes in between. One nice holiday or more holidays a year. It can be stressful, I'm sure.
How do you think in a creative society, how it's important to raise in society the questions about the moral values and human rights?
Unfortunately, I don't think there's much place left for morality these days. Like you said, everything is money orientated. Hopefully, and I definitely think it's down to the parents how they raise their children and what they put in their children for them to carry on. And you hope that the children will have a good start, and the parents will be followers of like good values in life.
Now you're talking about values, and the next question would be, what values do you think are universal for all people? What values unite everyone, regardless of religion and age, in gender, anything? What are those universal values that are universal for all human beings?
Honesty, 100%. Fairness, friendship, or support, like supporting each other. I think these are the most, honesty at all levels.
Yeah, I have just one more question I'd like to ask. We've already talked a little bit about the relationships between people, and another topic I want to raise, the topic of safety, so to say, because as I see nowadays, we sort of have a society of fear, because everybody's afraid of losing their job, of going into the street at night, of, I don't know, sharing some information, it gets out, it's everywhere in so many ways. We're motivated by fear and not really by other things. And how do you think the topic of safety, how do you think it should be in a creative society? How should every person, feel safe? How exactly? And do you dream about the future for yourself, and especially for your kids, probably, where you can just, not lock the door and, know that everything's gonna be fine, not lock your car when you go to the supermarket, and know that, nobody's gonna touch it. Let your kids go, play anywhere in the park or near your house, just anywhere, and know that they're gonna be completely safe, and that everybody around, they're just friends, they're gonna help, if they need help, and that people just want only the best for you and for your family, and nothing but the best.
I'm sure that would be so nice. It's very hard to even imagine something like that because of the way we're made to believe. Like that doesn't even exist, so it doesn't even cross our minds. You always make sure like everything is locked, everything is put back in place. It is worrying, especially thinking about my children. I feel like maybe myself, I've made it so far, or I might have learned how to keep myself safe, but it is worrying to think of my children, that they will have to find their way, and you just hope they will be safe and nothing will happen to them. But then you do hear very unfortunate stories sometimes. It would be lovely, and it shouldn't be like where people fear other people, but it happens, and I'm not too sure how we could stop this, or who could stop this. And it's at all levels. Yes, it's very hard to imagine anything different from what it is.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we're all human beings, and as we just talked in the previous questions, we still have all the same values. Yes, there are lots of differences between us. We have different background and upbringing and social situation, but still there are values that are the same for everyone. And as you mentioned, this is friendship. Everyone wants to be friends with everybody. Nobody, really sits and wants, to make enemies and wants people to hate them, or something. And we all want to live in the safe world. Again, it's not something that, we just, want to create for one person or in one country. It's something that we all want. So probably, if it's something we all want, we can create a world like this for everyone, because everyone is interested in it. Again, it's not something we have to force on anyone. It's just like everybody would love it. And yeah, this is one of the reasons exactly we're conducting this research, to show people how much common ground we all have and how we all actually want the same thing. And if we all want the same thing, then we together, we can really do a lot. Just start with ourselves, even start with thinking about this. I remember first time I heard about the creative society, I thought it's just like insane idea, and it's like, it's not just impossible, I don't know, it sounded like a joke. But then, when it starts somehow grow in you, you realize, yes, this is the world I want. And if there is anything like at all, even something small like conducting an interview, or I don't know, changing attitude towards, other people in some situation, if there is some tiny part I can participate in it, it already brings you so much joy. And knowing that that there are so many other people all around the world that want the same thing, and they already start trying to build it, it just, yeah, I think it's very inspiring. And thank you so much for your answers today, and again for showing us this common ground, for showing us that we all do want the same thing, that we all want to live in a better world, and that this is world that it's the same for everyone, that we are all human beings.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you
and
very much.
I was
Thank you very much, Irina. It was nice.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.